Well, it will not be business as usual for the electors casting their votes for the next president tomorrow. You know, the typically unremarkable and rather routine event has, of course, been turned on its head this year by the nationwide push to get some of those electors to choose another candidate over President-elect Trump. You know, more than 5 million Americans have signed a MoveOn.org petition demanding electors dump Mr. Trump. Well, some electors even reporting that they've received death threats over their vote. Mr. Trump, as you know, received 306 electoral votes in the election, meaning 37 electors would have to switch tomorrow. So what should we expect? Joining us now is Judy Miller, adjunct professor at the Manhattan Institute for Policy Research, a Pulitzer Prize-winning author and journalist and a Fox News contributor. You know, Judy, some reports this morning have said that they predict from 1 to as many as 20 electors could switch. But, you know, the Trump team says he won. The electors should honor that. What do you think will happen?
Look, I think, Eric, as you've pretty much indicated, Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States if the Electoral College has anything to say about it, since it does mirror the voters. And I think the problem we have now with the Electoral College reflects the continuing fury of so many Americans with the fact that even though Hillary Clinton won almost 3 million more popular votes than Donald Trump, the way our system is set up, Donald Trump is going to be that president. So yes, there's been a campaign being waged, you know, by Democrats to get Republicans to switch their votes. But so far, we really have only one elector who says he's going to do that. But we have had a debate about whether or not this system still makes any sense in a country like ours in the 21st century. And I think that's a healthy debate for this country, since, frankly, you know, the entire West Coast and East Coast of the country, the overwhelming popular vote did support someone else than the person who's going to be president.
Well, you know, there's been a lot of talk over the past few years about a direct election with the popular vote. You know, we've seen that before. But, you know, the Founding Fathers laid this out, you know, to give everybody, you know, equal weight. Whether you live in Wyoming, you get 2 senators, and you're in California, you know, you get 2 to try to make it fair and square.
Yes, well, President Obama called this system a vestige of an earlier time in which states were being encouraged to, you know, join the union. He was arguing we don't need this system anymore. I think what's kind of stunning is the amount of popular pressure now that's been brought to bear. I mean, some of these electors report receiving 35,000 emails, 200 letters urging them not to vote for Mr. Trump. That's really an extraordinary mobilization, and I think it does reflect this continuing disbelief and fury with the fact that the Democratic candidate lost.
One of those electors, her name is Carol Joyce, and Carol lives in Arizona. She's a Republican, and she, I guess, intends to vote for Donald Trump. And here's what she says today. The letters came from Washington State and from China, stuffed with copies of the U.S. Constitution or Alexander Hamilton's writing in the Federalist Paper number 68, which states that the meeting of the Electoral College, quote, affords a moral certainty that the office of the president will never fall to the lot of any man who is not in the eminent degree endowed with the requisite qualifications. Boy, oh boy, did Alexander Hamilton know how to write. But
right.
I mean, there is a point. I mean, how can President Obama call it a vestige if you're dealing with these ethical, moral issues and principle of giving the power, the ultimate power of the presidency, you know, to the people who are the electors?
But that's what the Democrats are arguing, that, you know, requisite qualifications is really a phrase that's in the eye of the beholder, and that requisite qualifications may not apply to Donald Trump if, for example, he continues to get emoluments or payments and gifts from a foreign government. That, too, is in the Constitution. And yet we still haven't heard from Mr. Trump exactly how he intends to fashion his financial situation so that he doesn't have conflicts of interest, so that he's not getting foreign gifts in terms of revenue from his hotels. Saying your children are going to run the business, for most Americans, does not seem like a true separation of, you know, financial So a lot of people are saying this, according to the Hamilton standard, means that Donald Trump is not qualified. Now, I happen to think that that's a reach, and I think that, you know, the Electoral College is going to do what we expect it to do, but they're putting up a very fierce, the Democrats are putting up a very fierce argument that may, in fact, persuade more than just one elector tomorrow.
But bottom line, and we're talking about emoluments and words in the Constitution that we haven't discussed
Right.
at all for years.
Right.
It's in the bag. He's got it. It's done.
Yeah, I mean, many Americans are just still the 5 stages of grief, and one of those 5 stages of grief, and if some of them have not moved from denial, others have moved to anger, and that's what you see in the outpouring of pressure
Judy.
to change their vote.
All right, vote coming. We'll have it all tomorrow later afternoon. Thanks so much as always.
Thanks,
Good
Eric.
to see you.